Hi all, welcome to my channel all about Jira. So in our previous session we have discussed about what are the web applications, how their architecture is, and also we have discussed what are the components inside the architecture like client, server and database. Today we are discussing about one of the components in it, that's the client. So let me take a new paint. Let me expand it. Okay, let's revise what we discussed in previous session. So this is the client, this is the server, this is the database. So let's discuss about this. This is the client, this is the server, this is the database. So as we know, client send the request to server and server will send the request to database, and then database will send the request to server, and then server will send the response to client. So this is how is our web applications architecture. Today we are going to discuss about client. So what are the types of clients, how we have to divided them, and also how client architecture is designed inside it, what are all the languages they use to develop it and all. So let's clear the screen and start. So as we discussed client, we all know what is a client is, whether it's a browser or whether it can be a API call maker like Postman, Swagger. Swagger runs inside the browser, so it also comes under browser, but it can make the API calls. And we also have something called CLI. CLI means command line interface. So in your laptop also you can see the CLI. Just go to the search and type CMD. Here you see something called command prompt. So double click on it and it will open your command prompt. So from here also we can make the REST API calls or call calls, and we can get the response from the server. So there are basically three types of clients. One is browser, one is API call maker, it can be a Postman or Swagger, and a CLI, which is the command line interface. Okay, in browsers we already know what are all the types of browsers. One is Chrome, which is developed by Google, and one is Firefox, and we have Safari from Apple, and recently there are two browsers which is called Brave. Brave is a secured browser. It won't have any ads also, so people who are interested or people who are annoyed with ads can use the Brave browser. Browser inbuilt has the ad blocking mechanism. So let me go through this and type Brave browser. Yeah, here you can see Brave is a fast, secure and private web browser for PC, Mac and mobile devices with built-in ad blocker that prevents tracking and optimized for speed. So it inbuilt can uh, one second. It inbuilt blocks the ads. Okay, so Brave browser. So previously we used to have Opera, and its later version is Opera Mini. And also we used to have one browser, famous browser in mobiles called UC browser from China. This browser is from China basically. Yeah, these are the types of browsers. And API call maker, as I said, example here Postman, Swagger, and CLI also we have different types of CLIs. We have Windows default one, we have some third-party CLIs also. So it depends. Right. These are the basic details about the client. So in client, what are the components? So we discuss about Postman and all later, and CLI also later. For in this session I will concentrate on browser because most of the devices or using the browser for making the server calls or using the application. Okay, let me clear all this screen. Okay, browser. So as I discussed earlier, browser only understands three languages, that is HTML, JavaScript and CSS. So HTML means hypertext markup language. CSS means cascading style sheets. So let us discuss what each one does. So coming to HTML. So HTML in your browser provides the structure, or we call it as skeleton. Structure or skeleton for the application. JavaScript provides the logic and validation performance. So logic's execution and validations are done by the JavaScript. In JavaScript also we have complex functionalities. Everything is done by JavaScript. But for now, remember, all the logic execution and validations are done by JavaScript. What CSS does? CSS provides the colors, coloring for the website, different types of beautification it provides to the website, colors, button colors, small arrows, like that. I will show what exactly it provides before. It can change the text color, borders, all the type of beautification work CSS will do. So inside browser there are three main components if everyone asks you, and it only understands these three languages. One is HTML, JavaScript and CSS. Previously, while applications are developed, so developers used to directly write the code in HTML, JavaScript and CSS, which is a heavy job for them to validate, and there are also no IDEs that provide a good environment for this development of UI. So UI UX development became more and more complex as the application's complexity and it is increased. So Google, Meta and these all companies came up with a new concepts, and they introduced few languages. So there are so many languages, but there are two famous languages for UI UX development. One is Angular. Angular is different from AngularJS. AngularJS is different, Angular is different. Angular and React. So Angular is given by Google. React is given by Meta, or it came at the time of Facebook without renaming of Meta, but today it's owned by Meta. So what is the use of Angular and React? So it provides the good environment for development of UI code, and it also gives the OOPS concept support so that we can write the code in form of classes, and then it will be very easy for the developers. And also Angular framework inbuilt has some functionalities defined. We need not write code always. We can reuse the functionalities as well. And in the React also we have components. We can write the code in the form of components. We can copy the components. We can use it in different places for that website. Okay, so the next question will be where we should use Angular, where we should use React. If we see a website, how we can say it is developed in the Angular, how we can say it is developed in the React. So all the Google sites and also IRCTC provided by Indian Railways, and there are some famous websites, they are developed in the Angular. And React. So React is used by whom? So React is used by all the meta applications like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and another famous application of React is Netflix. Netflix is completely using the React in its UI code. Okay, so now we got the examples of who are using Angular as an example and who are using the React. So then how we know which is using the Angular, which is using the React? So when I open a website, for example, let me open the Google Drive, for example, Google Drive or Google Classroom. I'm opening Google Classroom. Okay, now in order to know in which language it is developed, just go to the site, right click and click on the inspect. Here you will see the head, body. Don't confuse about that, we will discuss in the HTML section. So scroll down. So what you are seeing, the min.js is the JavaScript files. Script means also JavaScript tag. If you scroll down, I think I should log in order to see it. Let's click on sign in. Or for example, let's take IRCTC only. If you go to this website and right click and inspect, yeah, so you are seeing something called approot-ng host, ng content, ng host QPR. So you are seeing these tags called ng. So ng means Angular. Remember, ng means Angular. So these are Angular tags which are predefined. Okay. So which type of website uses React? We all know Facebook applications uses React, and the type of websites that are use React are a little different. So the website which are SPA, that means single page applications, that there is a full page application. Let's say for example this is my application. When I send a request and my server send the response back, only this changes. For example, charts or vacancy changes. If you open the Facebook, right, for example I'm logging into the Facebook. So when you log in into the Facebook, so you will see the posts. How you will see the posts? So for example, these are the posts. So this is a post 1, post 2, post 3, post 4. For example, let's say this is post 1, this is post 2, this is post 3, this is post 4. So let's say I am logging into my account and my friend here, he is also using the Facebook. So what he did, my friend posted a post. Here my friend posted a post. This is a post 5, for example, let's say. So this post, as soon as my friend added to his timeline, it should reflect on my device, correct? So it will reflect on my mobile. Let's think this is my mobile. So when these are 4 posts that I'm seeing, when I hit refresh button, let's think this is a refresh button. So when I scroll down or hit the refresh button, this whole page will not load. In React applications, this whole page will not load. So these four are already there. It will just add this post 5 on the top. So here is my post 5. So I think you got my point now. So if in a conventional application, when I hit the refresh button, this page has to go to the server and render all the information and remove this 1 2 3 4, again place this 1 2 3 4 here along with 5. But now using the React, you will only get the difference of current page and the server rendered page. So only 5 is the difference. Our React simply adds this one here. So this is the shadow dome concept, but you will need not know all that shadow dome and React components, Babel and all. So that's not our job. That's a UI developer job. We need to know. So these types of applications need React. Even Instagram is also same. Somebody posted a meme. I have 1000 memes on my app. So 1000 first meme will come and sit on the top. All the 1000 app previous one will not load. So the load on the server and my device is decreased. So now, as per our discussion, we can conclude that so that applications which are developed on Angular will completely depend on the client side. So load is more on our mobile or our laptop, browser and our RAM. So that means your application is very heavy. That means you throw all your load on the client side, all the validations, calculations, everything on the client's browser. You only logic is executed on the server, all the validations, everything in the client side. But if you develop in React, the only difference is the load will be more on the server side. All the validations is on the server side. UI side load will be decreased. So it both has its own advantages and disadvantages, but as per the application they will use. So all the softwares that we discuss in future, that may be Jira, all the Atlassian applications, Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket, Bamboo, Cloud and all, they are completely developed in React. But Atlassian related add-ons, we have something called add-ons or plugins. They may not be developed in React. We cannot guarantee that. So each developer likes something or based on the functionality, so they develop on their own language. So because Jira, Confluence are something live loaded and also collaborative tools, so they developed in the React. But plugin functionality may be different. For example, we have a plugin called Zephyr Scale. So don't worry about it. I will explain about it later. So Zephyr Scale in Atlassian Cloud is completely coded in Angular. So it depends on the vendor that who develops that plugin. Okay. So this is about the Angular and React. These are just the basics. Okay. Let me clear the screen. So let me explain neatly what is an HTML, what is a JavaScript and what is a CSS in the real time. Okay. HTML. So as we discussed before, HTML means hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. So here we concentrate on this word called markup language. So what is a markup? Markup means the language which uses tags for the identification is known as the markup. So tags, how the tags are defined. So in the tags there are two types. We have opening tag, we have closing tag. So tags are defined between less than and greater than. Whatever you write in between, these are the values. So opening tag is equal to tag HTML. It doesn't consist of any special thing. It just have less than, greater than, in between something is there. But closing tag has also less than, greater than, and we have the slash, we have the backslash. In the backslash, a closing tag will be defined with a less than, greater than, backslash, and the same word that we used before, HTML. So all the content written between this HTML opening tag and this HTML close tag is belongs to this HTML. For example, this is HTML. Let's say I'm using something John or student details. So if I want to write the student details, so in markup language, so I'm writing student closed. So all the details now I write between this student open tag and this student tag is depends to or belongs to student. So what student has? Student has his own name. So in order to define his name, so what we are writing, let me delete this one. Let me take a new one. Yeah. So we have student here. We are entering some student details. How we enter student details in a markup? Student open, student closed. So all the details that we enter between open tag and close tag belongs to student. What are all the details that belongs to student? One is the name. So in order to mention a student name, so we need two tags, open tag, close tag. So the details that you enter between name closed and name open and name closed is his name. For example, let's say his name is John. So the system will understand in markup language the student's name is John and what is his gender. In order to define a gender, we need an open tag and then a close tag. So what's his gender? Let's say he's a male. So like this we define our information in the markup language. Student's name is John, student's gender is male. Okay, let me clear this one. So what is the importance of HTML in the browser? HTML provides skeleton or structure for UI. So in the browser, in order to we understand the application and see the application in UI, it provides the skeleton or structure, like a skeleton for our human beings, like the bones support. Which component should be where? It should be on the right, left, center, or you should not see at all. Everything depends on the HTML. So in the HTML, there are three components. So in the HTML, we have HTML opening and at the bottom of the site we have HTML closing and we have head and then we have body. So these are the components of a complete page in a browser. So there will be an HTML open tag and then the HTML closing tag and then we have head and we have body. So what is HTML opening? So HTML opening means nothing but HTML open tag. HTML closing means HTML closing tag. Then what is a head? So head is something but wherever all the logics and validations will be sitting in the head. That means simply JavaScript will be written in JavaScript, or CSS from other classes will be fetched from head. In body, what we have? In body, all the data that we have is rendered in the body of the application. So this is the basic structure of application. So if I want to write the markup of this simple page application, I can write like this. So HTML open tag, HTML, and then immediately HTML closed. This is done. After HTML, we have head, open, head closed. After head, we have body. And the HTML is closed. A complete a page structure is this one. So we may have something in after head, we may have something after body, that we will discuss later, and that's also not our job. We, as an Atlassian Jira administrator or developer, or the one who is working in IT industry, we should have these basics. HTML, a web page consists of HTML, open and close, a head where all the logics are performed, body where all the data is stored. Okay, so in real time, let's see how HTML head or body is there, how people are writing their applications based on the things that we learned up to now. Okay, I am opening a website called TSRTC. So this is our regional website for bus booking. Okay, so observe this website carefully. Here we have a logo, here we have something link type, here we have photos, here we have something in darkish red, and when I hover it, the color is changing. Here we have green, but when I am hovering it, it is becoming red color. And here something is blinking in gray color, but when I hover it, it is becoming blue, and an arrow mark is showing. Here also it's the same. Under home, an arrow mark is showing, but when I hover it, home is appearing on the box. And when I hover on each one, an yellow tick mark or a yellow triangle in the bottom is coming. Okay, how people developed this? And here we have search for bus tickets, and if I click on this one, here is having with service number, and here we have 2 entry boxes, totally 4 entry boxes, and we have check availability button. Here something is scrolling up, here images are scrolling up, scrolling to right, and we have something links. When I click on this, it will go to somewhere. If I click on this, it is redirecting to other page. So let's see how people have developed this. What is the code behind this? So how to see? In order to see the code behind any website or the UI code, just right click and click on view page source, or Control U is the shortcut. Okay. So as I said before, every website starts with a HTML opening tag. It is the main. See, it started with the HTML tag. So language is equal to English. So you can ignore this for now. And then after head, after HTML, there is an immediate tag called head. So go here, and there is an immediate tag called head, right? So under head we have something meta name, meta something here, title. Title means this is the title of the website that you are seeing here. online bus booking we have here, right? So that is the title. So we have different types of that, and we have script async src is equal to something script. So all the logics here, they have written some code inside the script. All the logics will be and validations will be performed in the head. So head is the brain of the website, like a human being. So here they are bringing something, here they are bringing something. .js means JavaScript text, type text is equal to text by JavaScript, language is equal to JavaScript. So they are doing some functionalities. So we don't care what those functionalities are, but we need to understand what exactly they are trying to do. Okay, so after this happened, let's see where our body is there. Body, yeah. So here in the 48th line, head is closed. So as per our line, head is closed. They have something in between head open and head to close tag. And then in the immediate 49th line, a body tag is open. See, a body tag is open. Class is equal to base on unload something. And here all our data is being passed. Some current time and what are the customer support, all the data related things are happening here. Here we have a huge JSON data of all the data that is coming to server. So it is around 3000 or 4000 lines, I believe. It started from 52 or something, and it went up to 4693. All the data from the server is bought in the body section, if you observe. And also we have some city names, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad, something. All the city names are there. So after this, everything is there. Here also we have the powered by CSS. CSS also they are bringing here, and our body tag is closed here. Body tag is closed here. And after immediately body tag is closed, most of the website's work is completed. The only remaining thing is to close the HTML tag. Close the HTML tag. So they have closed the HTML tag. That's it. All this code that is rendered in UI, you are seeing like this. Got my point? Okay. So now let's see how HTML works live on this website, how CSS works live on this website, how JavaScript works on this website at live. Okay. So how this website know this image should be here, this button should be on the top, this banner should come, and this button should be here, this button should be here, this button should be here, this button should be here. So these are, everything is aligned and handled by the HTML. How this box show should show, everything is handled by the HTML. So if you click on this banner and click on inspect, you will see a class called menu wrap inside the div tag. So these are all the anchor tags for the hyperlinks, and this is the entry. So these all are handled inside the HTML, right? So these menu wrap, or these are, we also call the bootstrap classes. Inside the bootstrap, we handle this type of banners and all. So these are all controlled by HTML. So in live I can show you a HTML by manually generating. Let me show you. So take a text document. So I am naming it as demo. Open this. So inside this I am starting the HTML tag, closing the HTML tag. Right? So you need not practice like this, but it's good to know with hands-on experience. So here I am writing something called title. So title tag means the website's title. So demo for our session. I'm giving something like this. Demo for our session. And we close the title tag. So while saving it, click on Save As. On the desktop, what you will do, file name demo.html, and while saving it, save the type as all files and click on save. So now this is our demo.html and this is ready to run. So this is demo. While opening it, oh, it's still opening in this. Oh, I did not save it. Demo.html. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is, the demo. So when you open it, I'll try to open it Microsoft Edge just once. Here, if you see the title, demo for our session, right? So we are seeing here called demo for our session. So this is the title of the website. Now I want to display a button here. So go to this one, click on, right click, open with, choose Other app, choose Notepad just once. Okay, now we have the title. So I need a button. So here I only have the HTML. I don't have the body tag. I don't have the header tag. Only HTML is controlling this. So I have written a button. So you need not write everything on your own. So we have W3 schools. Go to W3 schools, button, HTML. So you can directly copy this, paste it in our code. Button type is equal to button, click me button, sorry. I saved it, closed it, and again load it. So here you can see a button called click me. So I need to display a text, a bigger text, a smaller text and all. So I will also show that how to do. So this button is in the left side of the website. Now I don't need here. I need in the center of this website. So we can also control that position as well. So go to open with Notepad. So button type is equal to button, and I can write here align one second. I'm going to this button. So you can directly Google it, align center. Here it is there. How to center a button horizontally and vertically. Let's click on this one. This is just to know the code. So yeah, let's copy this and remove our button code, paste, save. Oh, still in the right side. Open it, the Notepad, center V, central horizontal, or I'll do one thing. I'll directly open the chat GPT and ask it. So I need to tell you how HTML is controlling. Code we'll discuss later. So how to center a button in HTML. So we have something like this. So what I'm doing, I'm copying this style up to div and I'm saving it. And I'm opening it. Now if you see, click me was previously on the left, now it's on the right. So this is happened through HTML, right? So I need a text on my website which should be big, small, and the size should be decreased. For example, I'll show this one example and stop this notepad. So we have some tags called h1. We call it as a header tags h1. So this is a h1 tag and I saved it. So inside h1 I have written this is a h1 tag. So if I refresh, I got something called this is a h1 tag. So similarly, I'm writing Control C for h2. And refresh this one. So this is a h2 tag. So like this we can control everything. The structure of the application is controlled through the HTML. Okay, so let's quit quickly out of this. So how a JavaScript working is live on this website. So for example, there is a button here, there is a button here, there is a button, there is a button. So I want to book the bus tickets, right? So I have not entered anything and clicked on check availability. So immediately this website is throwing an error saying please select a start place. So that means this validation is performed by the JavaScript. Previously what used to happen is before this, it will go to the server and server will send the request saying no please enter the start place. But now everything is handled in our browser itself. So for example, in 2005 at that time, the YouTube app in our phone is around 30 MB if I remember correctly, 30 MB or so. But now YouTube app in your Android mobile currently today is around minimum, if you after installing app, if you see, it will be around 260 MB. So why this difference? Previously it was 30 MB, now it was 260 MB. Why? So the question is this: client side handling was increased heavily, server side handling was decreased heavily. So previously all the activities that we do is handled by the server. Today it is directly handled in our mobile or our laptop. That's the reason. So now I enter the start place. Let's say Hyderabad, and clicking on check availability. Now what it is saying, please select end place. That means you haven't selected the end place. Okay, so I am selecting Bangalore. Bangalore. So, but I have selected from Hyderabad to Bangalore, but I didn't say to it when I have to depart. Okay, now click on check availability. What it is saying, because I haven't selected a date, it is not throwing the error now. It is directly opening a calendar of the months. So this calendar, when we have to open. So today is the 25th July. It has to show the buses from today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and forward. It should not show the bus before 25th, like 24th, 23rd. So if I intended to select this 24th and 17th and all, it will not allow. So these all validations are done by the JavaScript. So if I click on depart and select today's date and click on check availability, now only I have filled these three fields. Now only when I clicked on check availability, request will go to server. Until and unless I filled all these fields, request will not go to server. This is how the load on the server is decreased substantially. Now I'm clicking on availability. Now it went to server and bought this information. So if you click on select seats, it is asking you this one. So if you don't select anyone and click on show layout, it is saying please select boarding point to continue. This is also handled by the JavaScript. I'm selecting on random options. Click on show layout. Now this is the page. So this is how JavaScript works. Okay. So now we are saying client-side validation, client-side validation, client-side validation. That means all the validation is done from our browser. So everything can be handled by a browser. You got my question, right? So can we handle everything in browser? No. So I am selecting a seat here and some entering in name something something, and email ID I am entering as s@gmail.com, and age I am entering like 24, gender I am selecting something male, and click on continue. Okay, one second. So let's say I have done up to the payment. So when I process my payment, will really, if my bank doesn't have the proper balance, how can my client handle that? It don't know how much balance exists in my bank account. Correct? So when you don't know the balance that doesn't exist in my bank account, what it will do is it has to depend on server. So that type of validations, the validations which are mandatory, which cannot be handled on the client side, are only done in the server side as of today. Rest, everything is handled on the client side. Okay. So when I now JavaScript is completed. We have completed the HTML. We have completed the JavaScript. So now I'm discussing about CSS. CSS means nothing but very basic. It just provide the colors. So if there is a banner, how come this banner has this cyan color? Go to right click, click on inspect. Here one second. Okay, so these colors, they are directly fetching from the head itself, right? So right click and right click, inspect. This is something different. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll go view page source. Yeah. So now do a control F. and CSS. So they are directly bringing the CSS from other places. So we have jQuery and all. So open this in the new tab. This is the CSS code. So they are directly bringing the CSS code and applying in the body section. So this is the CSS code that was there. This is the jQuery, and we also have assets something. So this is the CSS code. Margin 0, background, border top, solid. This is the color that we are having. Header, overflow, hidden, width this much, header top this much. All the code that we are CSS code that we are having here. Okay, so we are having this images. How come they are coming the images? So here we for images also they are bringing from the other place. So this is the icon. They click on it. Here is the icon, and let me search for any other icon that is there. ICO, only one icon. Yeah, this TSRT's icon that we are showing in the top of the page is brought from this place, favicon. Okay, this is the importance of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and how a website works. So in next session we'll discuss about server, what are all the types of server that existed, and then next we will discuss the database. So if you like this session, please like, share, comment and subscribe to this channel. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you.